first time you came here, Linda?
It would have been about 1968. My dad and Bob and May were friends, and my dad was friends with one of Bob and May's sons. And coming here was no different than going to my grandparents' home. It was their home, and it was inhabited by apes. That was the only difference, but it was normal to me.
Where are you from?
Buffalo, New York.
So you came here just to visit the primates and...
Well, my mom and dad would come to visit Bob and May,
Oh, good.
and the family. And, you know, being the kid, we would come along, and it was as normal to me as meeting cousins, meeting the apes.
Well, I'm excited that you're here today because this is a generational place, you know, for me. Because my grandparents were Bob and May Knoll. And the nicest thing that I love is today we have some of the same animals. Some of them are living well into their 70s.
Wow.
The monkeys are living well into their 60s. But if it wasn't for individuals like yourself that helped support the sanctuary and the chimp farm at that time, some of these animals wouldn't be here. What has it been like for you to meet? And you told me you even have a picture in your phone of Tommy, the gorilla that was in the Guinness Book of World Records in 1978.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Right.
Your grandpa would go to the cage, and he would say, George, my father's name was George, and he'd say, George, I'll be right back. Because my dad would egg him on and encourage him, you know, I want to see my friend Tommy. And he'd bring out this mammoth gorilla that I had only seen in a zoo and in pictures, and he would bring him out by hand. It was safety measures also, I remember. And they would sit. The ape would sit, and your grandpa would sit down next to him, and he would cuddle and tickle his neck, and you know, and Tommy would, it was amazing. And then my dad would say, bring out my girlfriend Tarpy. I love that girl. And, you know, and she would do the same, sit down, and she would do this with the dirt, and look around. And your grandma, at that time, was raising twin chimpanzees.
Pete and Donna.
They were tiny. They were little tiny things, and she brought them out, and they had diapers on.
Yeah. So if you felt at that time it was just like having another family member, they just happened to be apes.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And what I remember 40 years later is the absolute love and devotion that your grandma and grandpa had for each and every one of these animals. Each and every one. It was amazing.
Well, I can't wait to get your pictures. You said you have an archives of historical pictures, and we want to use that for the Chimp Farm page. But we also want to make sure that we do justice to the people, the animals, and for the generations to come. And I want to personally thank you for coming today because I miss my grandmother.
Oh, I bet.
And we have a big vision for this place. So if you can tell your friends to please pray. We want to expand to 32 acres across the trail. Right now we're up on 12.5 acres, but we get that property, we'll be able to expand to a 32-acre zoological park.
Absolutely. I've liked your place on Facebook, and this was in our plans to come stop here today without a doubt, and I will support the effort.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Very well.